Hello, this is Guy Glidden, and I'm here to talk to you today about assignment number 4 for Research 1. This is the improvement project proposal, and this is going to provide you with a guide, review to the guide and rubric for this assignment. And I've delayed in providing this on the Moodle website until now because you really had to be ready for it in terms of some of the previous assignments in the class in order to do it. Well, many are ready for it now. It's time, and so let's go with it, and let me give you an overview. This will be a step-by-step process that will result in an improvement plan proposal that is also the basis for a research study. Okay, now, in this course, one is not expected to complete the research study. So you need to simply develop the proposal for the improvement plan. In collecting the data, completing the research project is not a part of the process. For those who want to go further in the development of a complete research study and or do something with developing the data, there's a course for that, and it's EDUC 6033 Research 2. It's required for some of your programs. It's an elective opportunity for others. You might want to look at it if you want to do that sort of thing, because I think it would be a good experience to continue with what you're doing. So let's get on with the process here. As I said, I have provided this in steps, and you're going to see this information on the Moodle website in several forms. First of all, this screencast will be available in a direct link in the body of Moodle. In addition, you will find a link to the pivot table that you're viewing right now. And finally, you're going to see a Word document that is actually the guide and rubric to this assignment that you can use, and so you might want to use all three of those in the basis of what you're doing. Steps 1 and 2 shouldn't take much time in this process because one should already be done by all of you. That's the whole business of topic identification. Refer to what you provided to me in the pre-assignment. That starts the whole ball rolling. Step 2 is simply a discussion of that topic that you provided and a topic analysis. I've provided a couple of specific questions to help you out with. Many of you have already done that. So you've already given me a reason why this is a concern, why this should be a goal, and if you're not sure about that, you should also go back to the feedback that I provided to you when you did this assignment. So you need to do a little narrative work on here if you've not already done so. Again, some of you have already done that. You've already done steps 1 and 2. You're ready to move on to step 3. And step 3 goes a little bit step further because step 3 is a process where I'm going to ask you to become quite specific about the current status of your issue in your setting. And this is going to require two things on your part. Number one, you're going to have to provide a narrative statement. And the narrative statement is going to provide a history of what's been going on in the process. It's going to provide some facts, some reflection of those facts, and discussion about the current state of affairs. So again, since many issues are related to something that you wanted to improve, naturally, it's called an improvement plan, then you probably want to tell me a little bit about why it's a good topic for improvement in your school. Either because things aren't going as well as you'd like them to go, or maybe things are going well, but you want them to go a lot better, and this is a big focus. The second part of this is really important, and that's a little bit about the status of the current data that you have. And I've given you 4 options, and you really want to look at those because this is like your plan is going to fall under one of these 4 bullets that you're seeing right here. One possibility is you've already been collecting data, and you can use this as a starting spot. Now, what would be an example of that? Well, if this is something where you are looking at low test performance from previous efforts of testing in this area, whatever it is you're talking about, if you already have a bank of test scores, you've already been collecting data, so you already have a starting spot on data. All right, the second thing is that data has not been collected, but you have a plan in mind to collect the data. So no data, but you've got a pretty good idea what that data might look like. The next step down the level is what we call the anecdotal information starting spot. You have specific incidents in mind, or things have happened, but you haven't been keeping data on them, and you really don't know if they're parallel incidents. As an illustration, somebody provided to me an incident, an issue having to do with staff perceptions about student behavior and inconsistencies of students being reported to the office for behavior infractions. Okay, lots of anecdotal incidents that people can refer to, but there hasn't been much collection. We don't know if these things are parallel. We don't know if referrals are exactly parallel or the same from one teacher to the other. So there might be good days and bad days. We don't have a plan. And then finally, the last thing on the list is there might be something where there isn't much information, but there's a perception of concern. Well, you need to be honest as a starting spot and figure out where you are. And that's basically all this does, is it gives you a starting spot. So that's a little bit about your current status. And then step 4 is going to go on, and you're going to look at the development of the information for the basis of an improvement plan. So you really have 2 bases of information. One is the information we've been talking about in steps 1, 2, and 3 already. You should have a pretty good track record of what's been going on based on work with the situation that is your issue in your homeschool environment or your homework environment, whatever it may be. And the other thing is that now you have added to that some information from your review of the literature. And I've got some very specific questions. Those are also in the guide that you're going to see when you see the word guide. So you're going to see it in several locations. In case you're in question about what we're talking about there, I've given some sub-questions to help stem your thinking process on that. So again, keep in mind, if you look at the accumulation of what you've got in steps 1, 2, 3, 4, several things should emerge from you. Number 1, if you've done assignment 1, collection of literature, and secondly, you've thought a lot about the development of your project and done a pretty good job of providing a background basis of information, you've already got steps 1 through 4 pretty well done. So it's like running downhill from now on out. You're ahead of the game. Those of you who haven't got it quite organized, hopefully these steps will help you get in the process so you'll see what's going to go on. Now we're getting ready. Step 5 is where we actually start to do some work in constructing what we're going to do with the improvement plan. And this is going to take 2 steps, step 5 and step 6. And step 5 is you're going to construct the strategy of your improvement plan. You've identified the issue. You've got a goal. Now you're going to come up with a strategy that you're going to try to put in place to make an improvement. A couple of things are listed here that are critically important. Number 1, when you go back to the beginning, you may have had a big global goal. Well, you can't get to big global goals without going through smaller, limited goals. So world peace would be a wonderful thing, and I'm all for it. But just thinking about world peace doesn't bring about world peace. Bringing about world peace is brought about by lots of specific steps and increments that people make along the way. Same thing with your deal. So focus on a sub-goal that makes steps towards the big goal, and also it's certainly helpful if it's something that might be measured. And you're going to get some ideas on that when you look at step 6. Okay, be specific in the steps and components of the improvement plan. It's very important here because don't assume anything. This is really important when the improvement must be a team effort, and almost everything in our schools and places of work are team efforts now. So if you don't spell out the steps and procedures, exactly what you think others might be doing in the process, or you don't do it in combination with others, you're going to have steps that are going to go undone. And finally, and I've bolded this step, when you think you've got a draft of step 5 done, I will have a Dropbox that is specifically for you for draft documents at this stage of development, because this is a team effort that we're working at together. So you're going to work with me as a team in order to get something done. You get the draft for step 5 done, you're going to send it to me, you're going to get some feedback, and that's going to move you on, because, and it's important that you do that because step 6 is all about the details of the measurement plan. Now, I've gone through quite a bit of detail, but some of you may not have to. It may not be as laborious as those steps look for many of you. Let me give you an example. Again, suppose your improvement plan has to do with academic improvement, and you've already been measuring academic improvement through some sort of outcome measures, grades, test scores, something like that that you've already been using to measure student performance. Okay, look closely at those bullets and you'll see you've already got a number system provided. So all of those steps only apply if you're going into a concept and you're not really sure at this stage of development how the concept or the outcome you're talking about would go into a number scale. So again, if that's and again, if you are giving me the information through step 6, 5, as I ask you to do, and give me to the draft to me so I can give you feedback, I'm probably going to help you on that spot because I'm pretty good about spotting something where there isn't a measurement plan involved and I can help you create. Again, when you do step 6, I'm also going to suggest that you provide it to a draft improvement plan Dropbox specifically for that purpose on this assignment. And let me be clear about this. For assignment 4, you will find 3 Dropboxes, 2 for drafts and 1 for the final document. And here comes the final document, and I'm okay, and that's step number 7. And you'll see that by this time you're going to have feedback, and you will have also had a chance, which you don't see here yet, to look at assignment 5, which is memory jogger tools. So after you get the 2 feedbacks from the 2 drafts, you're at the stage of using the feedback from the draft for plan details and the draft for measurement plan details to make adjustments. You're going to review, edit, and clean up the language. Every researcher's got to do that, and you're going to prepare a final copy and submit it with the use of the improvement plan assignment Dropbox for the final copy. Okay? Now, I've also provided on this PowerPoint, I won't go through them in detail, these are all of the questions that the rubric is going to say. So you can look at these questions in detail and you can see they're pretty clear and related to what we've gone through. So the first issue is identification of a rationale for what you're going to do. It's all going to go back and ask from your background information, have you provided a priority for this, a rationale for this as a priority? Have you provided clear and focused information? Do you provide a picture of ongoing interest and need? Clarification of background information. Again, 2 very specific questions about that. Then we go on to the review of the literature. And you'll see that if you've done your homework and done your assignment 1s, the things I'm going to ask you to do, the bullet points for review of literature, are going to be pretty easy to do. You will have already accomplished that. Notice the bold at the bottom. If you don't use APA-style citations, you're not going to be graded down, but I am going to provide the copy back to you, and I'm not going to grade it until you give me the APA-style citations. So get with the program and get that done, and we'll move through that stage quickly. And then finally, you're going to provide details of the improvement plan and details of the measurement plan. Now, you'll notice a big thing I'm looking at, and I've included in there, that look at item 4 underneath details of the improvement plan. Is the improvement plan clear enough for understanding by one who is not a part of the development process? If you can give it to somebody who's never seen it before and they can make sense of it, you get high marks. Finally, look at the step 5 for the measurement plan. Could the measurement plan be used in its current state to collect and report data? In other words, is it what we call research ready? Okay, enough of that. I've taken enough of your time. This should get you going, but finally, let me remind you, we have another class session that's going to take place. It's going to be on April 15th. What we just talked about is a big issue. You will be getting lots of communication about this, so you will see lots of more information about it. Bye-bye for now.